welcome to Lanterns Live, the only live stream YouTube channel dedicated solely to the Green Lantern universe. I'm Ralph, and once again joined by Vactor, which means we are talking about Green Lantern Corps number 12. Written by Morgan Hampton and then a whole slew of artists. Again, which I want to get to. It definitely didn't bother me as much as last issue.
Yes.
But I definitely want to talk about it because there's one of the artists that really, really stood out to me that I really liked.
Okay.
There are some pages in this issue that I absolutely loved. Vactor, how you doing?
I'm doing excellent because it's that time of the month where I get to talk to Ralph about Green Lantern. I can't wait.
It feels like it's been forever, and I've been saying that a lot lately just because there's so much going on in my normal life. I just realized, like, I look way more tan than I normally do, which means I'm back to work, and I have my watch band stripe going. I am back with a day job,
Nice.
which you know about. I've been loving my job so far.
Nice.
Like, it's really easy going. So I think I brought this up last week where, it might have been on my Patreon show, but I think I brought it up on here too, that I have a coworker named Michael who's a big fan of Alan Scott. And I told him, I said last week, I said, hey, I read this Alan Scott story. You're a fan of the JSA as well. The JSA's in it. You should totally check it out. It was a really, really good read. And he said, okay, whatever. That was Friday. On Monday, he told me that not only did he go to his local comic book shop, he bought all 6 individual issues.
Nice.
Because that's what they had available. And he read them all over the weekend. And he loved the book.
Yeah.
So, like, I felt like listen, I'm pushing 49. I turn 49 next month. I feel like, again, like a crotchety old man. And here's this kid who's like 23 years old, and I felt like really cynical. Like, here, go read this, book. Like, no, like, I rarely does anybody take any of my recommendations, but it makes me so happy when they do. And then I feel like I like it because they like what I recommended. And of course, huge shout out to Will Smith from Green Lanterns Podcast for recommending that book in the first place. And then thanks for everybody for watching that episode last week. It's become a really popular episode on my channel. I'm not gonna say viral, but it's like as far as like comic book conversations go, like, it's up there.
Nice.
As far as people watching. Huge thanks to Tim Sheridan for sharing it on Blue Sky and everywhere else, leaving a comment down below, which was awesome. And it's getting more engagement than just a regular, like, me on my own talking about a comic. So that's awesome. Got some recommendations for some other Alan Scott stories, and I'm gonna read those and get to those in the future for sure.
Yes.
So man, really excited.
Oh, sorry, I don't want to cut you up. I gotta say, it is fantastic that you are putting a spotlight on a character and a spotlight on comic books. Like, you're doing the Lord's work. You're promoting it. You're getting it out there. So that I can't, like, the fact that you got someone to read a comic, enjoy a comic, go to a comic book shop. All of these are fantastic, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks. I mean, it's like, I love doing this show.
Yeah.
I will never stop doing this show.
Yeah.
I mean, eventually I will. But if there were a white lantern ring, even after I'm like long gone, I would get everything in my power to bring the show back from the grave, because I literally want to do the show for like the next 100 years.
Yeah.
It's been a blast, and it's stuff like that where again, I need to do like like an intro video for my channel. I think I want to. I've never actually uploaded a video to this page. It's always been live stream. So maybe I'll do a live stream intro to this show and just explain to everybody like I'm not an expert at all. I'm not a Green Lantern expert. It's in my about. If you read my about, it says, you know, I'm not an expert. But what I like about that is since there isn't stuff about since there's stuff about Green Lantern I don't know, like tell me, let me know. There's a couple of Pride books, I guess, that features Alan Scott from a few years back. I want to read those. So anytime I get something wrong, just let me know in the comments. I don't mind because I want to learn these things and get to know more about these characters than I already know. And then B, I want to like, you know, find new things. And I'm going to tell you this, Vactor. I stalled out on a book earlier or I guess late last year. I reviewed the first couple of issues where in the second issue I only talked about cheeseburgers. I'm thinking since there are no new Green Lantern books coming out next week, I think I will be tackling the first trade paperback of Absolute Green Lantern next week. You're more than welcome to join me. I think it's going to happen at, you know, this time next week. But that's going to force me, putting that timeline on it is going to force me to read those 7 issues. I'm going to reread the first and second issue and do the first 7 as using like the trade paperback cover or whatever I need to do to continue that, because I've heard nothing but good things. Will said the most recent issue of Absolute Lantern was probably his second favorite issue of the run. And so like I you know, you've been trying to get me to do it. I've been so busy and crazy. It's like my life has been nuts lately to where like I just try to do whatever I can each week to make sure I just get some shows out there. But I really maybe this is a resolution, is to read more new stuff and like tackle things that have happened already. So right now I've got Alan Scott the Green Lantern, and then next week I'll have Absolute, and then maybe a couple weeks after that I'll catch up on Green Lantern Dark. And then I'm gonna reach out to Tim Sheridan. We've sort of been in contact for the last week. He's been really cool, and I let him know about my coworker reading his book based on the recommendation, and he was really excited. I don't know if I should say anything, but probably this is around the time my mail shows up. The mail lady, I think her name's Letitia, shows up around this time.
Hi, Letitia.
And I might have something from Tim Sheridan in the mail.
Ooh.
He reached out and he was so excited about that episode that he's like, here, I'm going to send you something. And I'm like, great. So I think I also want to do more interviews. Dave, who's here, mentioned my interviews with Green Lantern creators and how much he enjoyed those. And I really want to get to know more about that book. There's some other people that I want to get in here that I really, now that I know what my schedule is for work, I can start really planning stuff out and know that work's not going to interfere with it. So look forward to 2026. I want to do more book recommendations from other people and just knock out like full trade paperbacks and full stories. And I also want to do more interviews. And then with Lanterns coming up, and that's gonna, I think, if Lantern starts in August, the HBO press machine usually happens 6 months in advance, which means next month, February, is when we should start getting Lantern stuff rolled out. So yeah, I'm pretty stoked on everything. Last week was a great way to start the year. And I'm glad people enjoyed it. Thanks for everybody for watching that episode, commenting, and all of that stuff. We have a lot of folks in the chat. You're in the chat. David's in the chat. Will is here. Tim's Allen run is Tim Allen. But Tim Sheridan's Alan Skyrun is really like it was eye opening because again like Alan is kind of this mysterious character to me because you just can't find his books. They're not readily available, and I know people will say this is like a retcon, but like it gave me everything I need to know about the character, who came from 1940, I believe, 39 or 40. I think it's 40. I think it's 1 year after Batman. And so for me, it's just like this is what I want. I love so many Green Lantern characters. I'm not bothered by their having like 8 or whatever characters from Earth. It doesn't bother me. So having more is fine. Because it doesn't, because it's all phony baloney. It's all just drawings and people writing these things for our entertainment. There's no reason for me to be pissed at anything. But in a couple weeks, the release of Justice League Red #6 is coming, and that's the final book of that series. And I'm hoping I'm entertained. I really am, because that issue 5 I was not into at all. He Who Is Goober is I haven't seen He Who Is Goober. I'm just gonna call you Goober for short. Green Lantern. What would happen if Beast Boy or Martian Manhunter used a ring? Oh, and like Teen Titans ago, if Martian Manhunter used a ring, or Beast Boy. I think if Beast Boy used a ring, I mean, it might be cool because Beast Boy can transform not only his body, but also create constructs. It might be pretty cool to see, like if you did constructs as a tiger, but did like tiger-centric constructs, or stuff like that. Martian Manhunter. Did Martian Manhunter have a ring in Blackest Night? At one point, did Martian Manhunter have? Was Martian Manhunter a Black Lantern or something like that? I'd have to look it up, but Martian Manhunter again, super overpowered. What's his weakness? His weakness is fire.
Yes.
Right. Which would be interesting. I'm trying to think of Martian Manhunter teaming up with Alan Scott, and them being like in a forest, and Alan Scott not being able to penetrate any of the wood in the forest, but then if you burn down the forest, then Martian Manhunter's screwed. So it's like what's the order of things with that? But
right,
that's a pretty good question. I don't like with Beast Boy. Beast Boy I think would be pretty cool. Martian Manhunter could do so many things. He could fly. He can shapeshift. Again, another shapeshifter. I think what I would like to see out of Martian Manhunter, what sort of Martian constructs would they create? In this issue of Green Lantern Corps, which we'll get to in a sec, Kilowog creates something from his home planet. And so it's one of those things where it's like, what kind of Martian things? What do we know? Like, would Martian Manhunter make a Martian rover to ride around on?
Yes.
Like, would it be fun like that? Or would there be like, I don't know. And Mars, to me, Mars is just a bunch of rocks. But can you do like Total Recall stuff? Like, would you make a Johnny Cab?
Yes. That fits. That would fit.
Okay, hold on. I just got something from
That'd be
Will.
some great stuff.
I got something from Will. He just texted me. I'm going to share this if I can, because it's important. Martian Manhunter was a Black Lantern.
Yes. Man, that
so I thought I remember that. Remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Looks cool. That looks like Doug Mankey art.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think he died in Final Crisis.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Man, I think the only Final Crisis I read was the Rage of the Red Lanterns, which was basically like the next issue of Green Lantern.
So, yeah, I need to revisit it. I haven't read it since it came out, but
right.
I'm a big Grant Morrison fan, so.
Yeah,
Some good stuff there.
I think Final Crisis happened while I was working at the comic book shop, which was the great time to work for a Green Lantern fan. Was like 2008
Oh
to
man.
2010,
Mm,
and so like I'd pick up Final Crisis and I'd read through a couple of things,
yes.
but never
Yes.
really like sat down and read the stuff unless it was Green Lantern, because we were dealing with Green Lantern, Green Lantern Corps, Red Lantern, Green Lantern New Guardians. There was like Blackest Night, and it was just like there's a lot of stuff, and then there was just like a ton of one shots. There was like a Flash one shot. There was a Green Arrow. I think there was even like a Jonah Hex Blackest Night one shot or something.
That sounds about
There
right.
was there was there was a bunch of crazy stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So Will's confirming Absolute Green Lantern recent issue is really good. So I'm gonna say this. Okay, so Dave says Absolute line confuses me. An explanation would help. I brought that up when I first started reading it, where I'm just like, why is this? I don't like. I understand the concept of Elseworlds. I know everything. I know that it's not like basically main Earth. It's something else. But for me, I and you can go back and watch my first episode of Absolute Lanterns 1, where I just struggle with, okay, you're saying this person is Joe, but there's nothing about this character that's Joe. You're saying this is Hal, and it really basically has zero. So for me, I was really struggling with why tell this story using characters' names when they're completely different instead of just creating a whole new like superhero origins with these sort of characters but with different names, and did something new. So that's what I was
Yeah.
struggling with. For you, what do you make of like Elseworld stories and things like Absolute?
Well, I've always loved those since I was a kid. Even going back to the what if stories of, oh, well, what if Spider Man kept all of his 6 arms that he had? It was always a
Mhm.
fun kind of fantasy for me to
Right.
be like, oh, man, yeah, that would be a crazy story if this happened. And
Mhm.
so when the apps or when actually when Marvel did it first with the Ultimate line,
Right.
and then DC came back with this Absolute line, and then Marvel came back with the Ultimate line again. It's always been fun for me to look at it from 2 different perspectives. Number 1, from a longtime fan who knows the the original, and then from a new fan of, oh, the first time discovering these type of characters. So what does these different lines and different universes bring to it? It's interesting you say about the Absolute. I haven't read too many interviews with the writer of Absolute Martian Manhunter. I'm sorry, of Absolute Green Lantern, but I know
Mm.
specifically Scott Snyder has said with Absolute Batman, he wanted to keep the essence and the core of Bruce Wayne and of the character of Batman, but kind of take away a couple things. So instead of him being rich and him having all this training, it's the Joker who's rich and has all the training and has
Mhm.
flown all over the world and all these things. So what is that juxtaposition of you have those same characters, but you're just like switching one little thing. It's like that butterfly effect. It's like you just
Right.
change one variable. How does that alter the course of their character? So for me, those have always been interesting. Of man,
Yeah.
the characters that I love, but in a different setting.
Yeah. And then with the Green Lantern one, I feel like it's a little bit. I wasn't able to grasp what the like sort of what that concept was. What's the
Yeah,
what if
yeah,
of Absolute Green Lantern? There wasn't
hmm,
that thing where I'm like, oh, that's an interesting take.
right.
Basically, I guess it's like, what if Ab and Sur was bad, or what if Hal Jordan was like Black Hand? It was, yeah, it was a little bit weird for me. It would have been like I always like the fact that the ring originally was supposed to go to Guy Gardner, but Hal Jordan was closest, sort of thing. I like that storyline. It's a fun Silver Age storyline. Um, so yeah, regardless, next week I promise I'll be here talking about Absolute Green Lantern, the first trade paperback. I think that's issue 1 through 7, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes,
So I'll
yes.
do that. What's up with the shirt? Your shirt is Green Lantern. My shirt is TNC, is an old like surf brand from the 80s and stuff. I got this while I was in Hawaii because as a kid of the 80s, like I grew up green. Green. Tim Allen's the next Green Lantern.
Yeah.
I mean, if he got I don't know if he would get, if he, it like, listen, whatever, say whatever you want about Tim Allen. I do think it's funny if Tim Allen was a Green Lantern that his constructs would always break because that's how it was on like Home Improvement.
Yes.
Like he couldn't fix the dishwasher. Nothing. He tried to overpower things and they just fell apart. He tried to make things with more power, and he was and all that. So I think it would be funny him trying to do like these crazy over the top constructs and then just like completely like fall apart. I feel like in like the 90s that would have been a really fun sort of one shot. What if?
Yes.
What if Tim the Toolman Taylor got a Green Lantern ring? Yeah, Martian Manhunter. Okay, you got that. Just nerdy nerd. Yo. How's it going? Dig your Invincible avatar. I'm a massive Invincible fan. For those of you that don't know, I co-host an Invincible podcast with my friend James called Invincipod.
Yes.
Who me? I don't like. What up? Let's see what Will says. There's a great Reddit comment. I can try to find where it explains how each color works and what ranks are inside of each color.
I think that's what sets this series apart from the other Lantern series is the approach to color and the way that light works and the spectrum. Will, we need that. We want to go deep on that.
David says, oh, wow. DC needs to hire a actor to sell these books. I get it. So there you go. Yeah, that's basically you were asking like that you didn't really understand and you needed someone to explain. I'm in the same boat. And again, I'm not an expert, but that's the reason why I do this channel is because there's not a lot of Green Lantern fans out there, at least in my vicinity. So it's nice to like sort of, put out that call around the internet so that Green Lantern fans could come together and we can chat about Green Lantern. So yeah, let's talk about this book, dude.
Ooh-wee.
Okay, so here we go with Morgan Hampton. This is his third or fourth book on his own, and I'm fired up. I really like this issue.
This was.
I'm gonna bring up this page because again we have a bunch of artists on the book, and the artists are Fernando Passarin, top notch. Will Conrad, also great. Now Eau Claire Albert, I believe was an inker for like during the Blackest Night run. Eau Claire Albert's been around the Green Lantern sphere forever. So I'm assuming that means that they are now doing pencils, and then Jason Paz. So again, we have 4 artists on this issue. It did not get in the way for me as much as last issue. So I'm good. I did talk to you before we started. There's one artist that I think this is like, I'm going to look at like this page. I believe this page is like Fernando Passarin. Because that seems to be Fernando Passarin was working on Green Lantern along with Zermanico, and I believe this is Fernando Passarin. That's Fernando Passarin's art. I'm pretty positive. Great work. But there was one artist during the battles with Larfleeze that I thought were just stunning. So they used to do this on comic books is when you when there's multiple artists on a book, they would say which number pages those artists did.
Yeah.
And this one doesn't say that.
Yeah.
But this art here, I absolutely loved.
Yes.
And I don't know what it is. Larfleeze looks amazing. The character models are perfect. I love like Joe's rendering almost looks like Far Sector, but there's some really like there was something about this, and I don't know if it's the colorist or what, but I really like these drawings. So whoever the artist is, I'm gonna try to reach out to all the artists to this book because I really want to get a sense of who did what, and it really kind of drives me nuts that they don't say. I feel like if you can put the page numbers, that would be great.
Right.
But like these pages, I mean, look at the power of Larfleeze. Like that shot, below shot, like the rage and the all the stuff coming out of his eyes with like the little Kirby dots, the Kirby crackle, as it were.
Yes.
Like all of this stuff, I just absolutely adored. And like even this page, I think this might be Fernando Passarin on this one. Like all of this stuff. So I won't show too many pages of the books because I don't want to get in trouble. Also, I think everybody should go read it.
Yes.
Factor, what are your thoughts on Green Lantern Corps number 12?
Yeah, I was telling you off mic. I don't want to jinx myself, but I'm waiting for the issue that I don't like of this series, and it hasn't happened yet. I have been loving this series from get go, and this was just another great issue. And this goes back to your Morgan Hampton interview, where somebody, I forgot who it was in the comments, was asking about Larfleeze. Where's Larfleeze at? He was like, he's coming.
I think it was Will.
He's
I think it was Will.
Yes. And he's like, he's coming. And this is the issue. And yeah, this is, if you're a Larfleeze fan, this is what you love. I think the kaiju, like the giant Larfleeze, and the power of him having having the power of an entire core, and you know,
Right.
the entire battery itself, just of him, not spreading it out to other people, was really evident and prevalent in this one. And I'm like you, I didn't notice the artist change in this one, especially compared to the last one, where it was like it was night and day.
It was
This
jarring.
one, yeah, their styles were so similar. I didn't even, if you had told me this was the same artist on the entire book, I would have been like, okay. But yeah, just fantastic work from everybody involved here. And this really sets up like this war and what is going to happen. This was a great cliffhanger. Just there's so many things building in the background. Like this is just a great in the middle. Like this isn't the start, this isn't the end. Like this is just a great in the middle book. Yeah, Will.
For me, what I liked is like we get these big event wars in Green Lantern and Green Lantern Corps. We've gotten them over the years. Jeff Johns really like came up with a lot of like the Sinestro Corps War, Blackest Night, Brightest Day, War of the Green Lanterns, War of the clones, the Volthoom, the Final Lantern or whatever. Big events coming up with this stuff. With this book, I did not expect a war so soon after the Starbreaker supremacy,
Right.
and it threw me off a little bit. But I really like the way this has been presented, especially the last two issues, where after the Starbreaker supremacy, we have all of the Lantern power batteries on Oa, so they're all in one place, and we were like, that's pretty cool. Like, it's nice to have, like, there's a lot of story potential there, where it's basically the Odd Couple. You have all these different factions of Lanterns in one place. How are they going to get along? And what I loved about this issue is it really laid out Oa. It gave names for every sector
Yes.
in Oa where each of the different Lantern Corps reside. But what it does is it creates borders and boundaries. So they're not working together. They're all segmented out, which gives Larfleeze time to just be like, oh, no one's going to bother me on my island. Which was set up. It was set up a couple issues ago that Larfleeze wasn't on island. But it's almost like they're so close to getting it. They're so close to getting it. Like, they need to be coexisting. It's one thing to be like all there on Oa. Even though they have disagreements and stuff, and even Sinestro gives a little shade. Like the few lines Sinestro has is a little bit like he's a little antagonistic towards this, and he's very skeptical. He's cynical, and he's like, "Yeah, sure, that sounds great, Jess, but I don't know if this is gonna work." They're still segregated. Oa, I'm assuming, is a fairly decent sized planet, to where when you have something like, I don't know, 20 Indigo Lantern tribe members and they're living like a vow of silence in these caves, like, how are they going to get to know each other when they're all separated out? And it's almost mirroring like real world problems and borders and disputes. And even though like everyone wants world peace, like there's just some places where it just can't happen. There's something happens where you have a orange larfleeze that just has to attack. So for me, like when I read this issue, I was like, I love the setup of all these different places. I'm gonna try to learn each quadrant, so that I remember where each of the lanterns reside. But also, like, I'm like, man, I could read another dozen issues of just life on Oa with all of these different people. The story potential is like infinite.
I mean, you could have spin-offs of each color. Like you could have their own tie-in.
A comic of Oa. I would love that. An anthology of like a Blue Lantern, like Brother Worth living in peace over in his area. Or like it's crazy that like Atrocitus is hanging out. It's kind of cool with this sort of like coalition of Lantern Corps, but he's also still really angry and doesn't like is you can tell he's fighting the rage to be part of the group, but at the same time it's like he's working through that. Larfleeze obviously hasn't been able to work through that at all, and has been just building up this like his greed, and he kind of wants to take over Oa. And then so we get all of this stuff. We get basically every Lantern Corps in this book, other than Black and White, but the main color spectrum. But then we also get the story with Fatality and Enquar. I think I got it right. Going and reviving his old planet, but it turns out to make a weapon, to basically make some sort of all-consuming like planet that it will absorb other planets and just become stronger. It seems like the next issue will be about that, and all of our Lantern Corps members are going to band together to stop a common threat. It's a classic story in comics. It's a classic story that I think is going to be happening in Man of Tomorrow. But for me, it's like, I hope it doesn't. Like, I really want to see what this thing could do to other planets while we still get more stories on Oa. Because I really, really enjoyed all the Oa stuff.
Yeah.
Really, really like all the Oa stuff.
Yeah. There's so much, like you said, there's so much potential for story that can be mined here. And it's bringing back that feeling that we had of the Jeff Johns run of the Sinestro Corps War, and then everything that followed, introducing all of these different colors and the different cores, and everyone has their own like personalities and strengths and weaknesses. And even just the cover of this one alone, it's like the setup and the premise of, hey, this is all of the cores are colliding here. And we didn't see Razor in this one, but he's on the cover as a Red Lantern. And I really want us to get to this moment of everybody coming and clashing, because this is just so much fun. And I got to say, the thing that I loved, I think even more than the the Larfleeze, the kaiju fleas, was
Hmm.
the cadet crutches that they had, the lantern crutches.
Yeah,
I thought that
yeah,
was super cool. Of everybody's construct crutches. I'm sorry,
yeah.
each thing that they had to just call on at a moment's notice, like when you, it's just
Like a
kind of
fail
instant.
safe or a
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. That
So
was a lot
I
of
thought that
fun.
was cool.
Again, I think last issue they introduced the Construct Twin, which we've
Yes.
saw in
Yeah.
Green Lantern the animated series. I think episode one, and we've seen here and there a little bit. But I liked seeing sort of this introduction of ideas that we may have forgotten about,
Yeah.
and like them being reintroduced. I really like this storyline of Kilowog and the cadets. I think it's really fun. I'm really fascinated by Aya hanging out with the Indigo tribe, and she's still in that processing phase. And I got to tell you this: Morgan Hampton's writing, the way he writes Kilowog's dialogue, feels like Green Lantern the animated series,
Yes.
where he'll say something with an apostrophe instead of a something. Like he'll do like a little bit of what Tim Sheridan did with Doiby Dickles
Oh,
in
yeah.
the like do that sort of give him that like Bronx accent. I don't know,
Mm,
but
yeah.
there's definitely the dialogue for Kilowog feels like I as soon as I was reading it, I'm like, who's saying this? And I like turned the page and it was Kilowog, and I'm like, okay, this feels like Kevin Michael Richardson saying it, and so now that voice is securely embedded into the Kilowog character when I read. I love Jess in
Mm,
this issue, taking on the role of really coming out of her shell and being able to address the entire planet, like making a big head construct thing, like recording to like or making a speech over her ring to tell everybody what's going on, and seeing Jess's head, like giant construct head, over a whole city with everybody watching, like that's like character growth from when she was an introvert and she was afraid to go outside and she would stay inside due to fear for what 3 years I think.
yeah.
So to see her coming into her own and sort of taking charge, because for the the first I don't know 8 or 9 issues of this book, we're like, is she just a secretary?
Yeah.
But now we're really seeing how she's able to command this presence across all of Oa, and not only that, but like when she talks, everybody comes out. Like I'm looking at this page, and again, I don't want to show too much, but there's a couple things I want to talk about this page. But look at every single person in here has their full attention on her. Like she clearly is like people like her.
Hmm.
And so I really like that for Jessica. Also, this Ural, Home of the Blue Lanterns, I assume is the rearranging letters of Royal, as in Royal Blue, the
Ooh.
color. So that was one thing where I'm like, okay, I think I could remember the Blue Lanterns section of Oa is similar to Royal. And then I was
Yeah.
trying to go through all of these, and I was trying to like, what does this do? What do these letters make for yellow, and what does this do for red?
Yeah.
So, but I just absolutely I love that Jessica got a spotlight. Everybody got a spotlight this issue. We got some more Joe, a tiny bit of Guy. He's still needling Kilowog. Simon's back. He's got a
Yes.
busted arm from his bout with the gauntlet and Krona. Sorry. I've been playing a lot of Hades too, so I got Kronos on the brain. But Krona. So Simon's back in the mix. Everybody's in the mix pretty much. We didn't get Razor, but it was just great to see them all. I think that's one of the things about Green Lantern Corps that I was always like, if I were a writer of Green Lantern Corps, I don't know how I would be able to juggle all these characters and give them all equal time, or make them feel like they're important to the story, because there's a ton going on. Do you have any thoughts on any like moments that like caught your eye?
Well, I liked I got very much Star Wars Emperor hologram vibes of Jessica.
Oh, from Jess, yeah,
yeah. And she introduced herself as Green Lantern Corps leader. I like that, taking the like, yeah, she's the man. She's the head honcho and the one that you want to talk to. So yeah, I echo all your sentiments on that. It was really cool to see that, and then her trying to unify everybody. Like, this is what you talked about. Like, we want that utopia. We want that where all the colors are working together.
Yeah.
And she's trying to do that. She's trying to organize that. But Larflee's really messing it up. And I liked that mushroom cloud of orange lantern. Yeah. That was, man, that would have been a great like 2-page like splash page if they had done that. But yeah, that was the art in this one. I can't say enough about how it's, when you have a consistent look throughout the entire issue, it just makes it feel so much better and more cohesive than if you're switching back and forth and jumping between styles that don't necessarily mesh as well. It's like, I don't want to shade any artists and don't want to, like, because I can't draw. I couldn't make any type of good art. But when you have contrasting styles, it's just it's a lot more difficult. And this issue is a testament to, like, man, when it's a smooth ride from start to finish, like you're not thinking about the art, like you're so into the story. So I just really, I like how everything came together on this issue.
Yeah. Speaking of smooth rides, I enjoyed this construct very much.
Oh yeah, when I saw that, I thought about you.
Yeah, it makes me happy. I feel like Morgan Hampton's really like leaning into the Green Lantern, the animated series,
and that's Aya's crutch, right? That's how I understood.
It must be, yeah. They were all using their crutches
because everybody had.
So for her, it's the Interceptor.
Yeah. I also did think it was interesting that Wonder Woman is a crutch. Like,
the
idea of Wonder Woman.
Yeah, that was Kelly's.
Yes.
I thought that was interesting as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's cool to see
stuff in here.
Yeah, just all of these things coming together, and then at the end, Aya's like, what'd you call it? A clone construct?
I think a construct twin.
Twin. That's right. Yes. Cool to see that coming out, and then the Indigo's like, huh? And that very, like I said, that great cliffhanger that we have at the end. It's like there's this massive weapon that is on its way. It's almost like the Death Star just fired, and you can see the laser coming down the sights. So this is going to be interesting to see what happens next.
I really hope we get more. Yeah, next month it says War for Oa, so it's coming. I don't know what I think of that, because I do want more stories on Oa. And is that we've got a shot or two of Mogo in Oa's orbit.
Ooh.
And I'm hoping that this thing does not take over Mogo.
Oh man.
Because we're gonna need to see what this thing can actually do. We know that the dude Enquar, I think, we've seen what he can do to an individual person and completely absorb them and take their powers and stuff. And then he was able to do that with all the power he built, to do that to a planet. So now he's a planet-sized thing with even that much more power, even enough power to propel a planet to a different sector. It'll be really, really interesting to see what happens next month. I'm kind of anxious. I think Mogo should be okay. I can't deal with the death of Mogo. but I'm hoping. Yeah, I'm hoping that
And
something.
yes,
Uh,
it's going to be interesting to see how this is all contained in um, this book, because the main Green Lantern book that you're covering with Will, they've been doing kind of like a Brave and the Bold thing where Hal's teaming up
yeah,
with all these different heroes, and then you got 600 coming, which is going to be a
yeah,
huge thing. So this war is there's only like the only space for it is going to be in core. So this is going to be interesting to see how this
yeah.
happens.
What's happening next month on Green Lantern? I think
Let's see.
32.
This is
I just did the
32.
artwork for it. It's Flash.
Yes,
It's
that's right.
Flash.
Yes. Hmm.
So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that's gonna do. Like I'm like, as much as I really enjoyed the Batman issue. And poor Will, after we're done, like later in the night, he's like, we never even finished talking about the book. We didn't even mention the boy who who created this Joker thing with his mind. We didn't talk about any of that stuff. I felt so bad. Maybe we could touch on it next in a couple weeks when we talk about the Green Lantern Flash crossover. Yeah, Green Lantern 600 has Kyle in his new
Ooh-wee.
suit, and Kyle gets the spotlight. Um, I don't know how that's going to work out. I know there was the issue, the solicit for an issue coming up where it appears like on the cover that Hal Jordan is proposing to Carol Ferris.
Yes, I
Are
just
they
saw
going
that.
to go
Yeah.
get married? Are they going to have a honeymoon phase? And is the book going to be Kyle centric while that happens?
Mm, that very much, yeah, because that's 32, which is Legacy 599. So that's the issue
Yeah,
right before 600, and that in my mind gives me very much shades of in the 90s Peter Parker and Mary Jane kind of going
mm,
off. There was one point where they just went off, and then Ben Riley was all right. He's Spider-Man. Like Peter
yeah,
Parker's the clone, and Ben Riley's the actual. Like he was the actual Peter Parker, the original. So like almost like yeah, pushing them aside, and then the other guy comes in. I could see them doing that for Kyle. That could be very interesting, which is great.
yeah.
That would be fantastic to see that. Because Hal
That would,
Hal has had the spotlight since Jeff Johns. Like I
yeah,
Hal has been my favorite since I was a kid. But I'm like,
mm,
there's so many more lanterns, like which is why I love
right.
talking core with you. It's like give a spotlight to these other lanterns. There are other guys in the universe and
Yeah.
girls.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like a lot of people will say that, you know, they're just Hal Jordan fans, which I'm a Hal Jordan fan, but I mean, I'm 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 a bigger Kyle fan, and I'm ready for some Kyle stories. I really am.
Yes,
Uh, Sean says that the cover for 600 with all the lanterns on it. I need a massive print of that. Um,
looks very
I tried to
nice.
find a high res version of it. I couldn't because I like to have wallpapers on my computer to be like. For the longest time, I had Green Lantern 25. That's Zermanico one where it's like Kilowog's here and Kyle's here, and they're all reaching up for that the Star Sapphire rock. Yeah. Will Mogo ever be married? I mean, he's got like imagine the ring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's a
It would
female
be so
planet?
funny to see
Yeah.
Mogo like in space with like a little black bow tie.
Yeah, Lilia. That would be amazing. I want to see it now. Now it's
Yeah,
in my head.
yeah. We need DC's version of What If, which I think
Ooh,
exists. I'm not
man.
sure. I think they just say Elseworlds. But
Yeah,
what if
what was
Mogo
it?
got married? I would
Yeah.
definitely check that out. Um, yeah. Do you? We're hitting 50 minutes here. Do you have any final thoughts? Any more things? Any maybe some predictions on what's to come?
Ooh. I am terrible at predictions.
Yeah.
But I just want to see how this how the intermingling of the cores, how does this resolve itself? Like, do we go back
Right.
to the status quo of what we had before, or is there going to be something different? Like, what is going to be the arrangement, and who's going to be happy with, are there going to be truces, alliances? What is it going to be like? That's what I'm interested to see is how do these each core kind of work together?
I feel like the deal with Larfleeze is they're going to have to do something about Larfleeze. There's a Larfleeze problem. Do you put Larfleeze in a science cell? Does that go against what they're trying to do in the first place by letting everybody out? Like, how is Jess going to dealing with that sort of nightmare? Will Larfleeze join this fight against Enquar? I always forget the name.
Yes.
I think it's Enquar. Is Larfleeze going to join that fight? Is Larfleeze just going to want that planet and want that power and try to take it from the planet? I don't know. Are they going to be able to defeat this thing? And will there be like a third planet next to Oa and Mogo? Are they just going to end up creating a whole solar system of stuff?
Dang.
I'm kind of with Will. Let Larfleeze get the planet. Like, let him have his own planet that he could live on. That's kind of outside of Oa, but still in the orbit. I think that's a good call, because they can't put him in a science cell, because Jess has this idea of what this utopia. I was going to say autopia. What this utopia should be.
Yes, Zootopia. Yes. Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. I mean, basically, it is.
Yeah. Dang.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the solicits for the next 2 issues. The next one is supposed to be. It's got John on the cover, and he's like underwater. He's submerged. So that's going to be part of this war. And then the next one, Green Lantern Corps 14, is the aftermath of DCKO. So I'm interested. I've been kind of sharing the Lantern parts of DCKO with you.
Yeah, I've been so busy today. I haven't even had a chance to flip through them.
Oh yeah,
because we have iChat, so they stack them.
Yeah. Let me say this real quick, because I don't know if you talk about DCKO too much on your channel. So basically, the whole thing is like a big versus. Like, all right, we want to just put our toys together and fight. And so they've had these different rounds. So, Will, this is the third round. Each one has eliminated certain combatants. And then so the third round, they say, okay, the people who are left, you can bring back somebody who has been eliminated. So Guy is still in it, and he brings Hal back, who has been eliminated. So they team up. This whole round is like a team up round. So it's Guy and Hal versus Superman is still in it, and he brings back.
Let Superman go out so early.
I think he's gonna. I think this whole story is a Superman story. I don't think he's gonna lose, but Superman brings back Shazam. So it's Superman and Shazam versus Hal and Guy. That's the pages that I sent you. So there's like, I was like, oh, this is great. There's great constructs. There's like all this great stuff that's happening. But I'm having a good time.
It's gonna be. Yeah, it's gonna.
Superman is not losing. Yeah,
Superman's not gonna lose, and it's gonna be one of those things where anytime anyone brings up Superman versus Green Lantern, they're gonna get those pages and they're gonna show us those pages, and it's like, oh man, come on, you guys, like, stop dumping on Green Lantern. Like, just let Green Lantern have something. Put Green Lantern in the final four. Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern. Let's do that. Like, I think that's perfectly fine. Some people might want Flash or something like that, but let's do that.
I was surprised Guy has gotten this far, but I've been enjoying it.
But you know what? It was so fun because I saw that it was Guy versus Superman, and I was like, it was like, let's go, Big Blue. Like, I was like, okay, this is them. This is them perfectly. People who watched the movie wanted to see that Green Lantern versus Superman fight, which I hope we get in the Man of Tomorrow. I hope that Guy survives Lanterns, and I hope Guy's in Man of Tomorrow, and I wouldn't mind seeing, like, because if if Superman and Lex Luthor are teaming up, like, do you think Guy Gardner's just gonna let Superman hang out with a freed Lex Luthor, the guy who almost cut the world in half? So I mean, I in that situation, like, I wouldn't mind seeing a fight. I wouldn't mind seeing a fight between Superman and Green Lantern, just because because it's going to be awesome, but also because I want to, like, I feel like people should see that it's a more fair fight. Like, it's a pretty, like, a Green Lantern versus Superman is a pretty good fight, especially like that version of Superman, where like the movie opens with him getting his ass handed to him.
Yes.
You know, like, this Superman isn't like super crazy all powerful, and Superman may always win the day, but it's not easy. And so I'd love to see, like, people see, like, just how powerful a Green Lantern is, especially Guy, who's like not even likable. Like, like, just to see those two guys butt heads, and then
what would you do?
Get John in there.
Yes. What would you do if Kyle showed up in Man of Tomorrow? Like, I mean, if they mentioned his name, or he just like,
my mind. I'll lose my mind if like I should, like, be building this up because, like, I feel like you get that what was it, Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, where it's like, man, anything can go, this is gonna be crazy. And there was like one scene with, you know, Mr. Fantastic and Professor X and stuff like that, and that was fine. But, like, I want, like, really, let's get into this. Let's get, like, when Superman had so many characters in it, and people were like, how are they going to fit all these characters in? And he did, and he showed them how he was going to fit all these characters in. Like, let's, by the time we get back to Man of Tomorrow, I want to see the Hall of Justice completed, and I want to see a lot more people walking around. And you don't have to say, like, make it the Star Wars Cantina. Have people in the background.
Yes.
If a Kyle walks back there in the background of a shot in the Hall of Justice, are you kidding me? Dude, I'd lose my mind. I'd lose my mind.
Yeah. And we're beyond that point of, okay, you have to have an origin story for every character, and you have to introduce, and they have to have their own setup movie. It's like, no, we could do that. We could just jump into the story.
We didn't get Mr. Terrific's origin story. We didn't get Guy or Hawk Girl's origin story. And guess what? We all know who those people are.
Yes.
We know how cool Mr. Terrific is. We all know what kind of a person Guy is. Hawk Girl, I think, could have used a little more fleshing out. But still, like, even like Metamorpho, we got what we needed. And that's it.
Yes.
Like, everyone says we're tired of superhero origin stories, but then they'll also complain there's too many people in this movie. How are we going to get to know all their origin stories? And it's like, James Gunn's like, I'm just putting them in. If you want to get their origin stories, go buy books at your local comic book store and go support DC. And I think that the Justice Gang was like the perfect advertisement for DC Comics. To go read DC Comics, because if it was Jon Stewart as the Green Lantern in Superman, people go like, oh, I remember that guy from the Justice League. But people have to go read Green Lantern or Guy Gardner. Oh, that means it's 5:00.
Alarmo.
But the only place you're going to learn more about Guy Gardner is picking up books.
Yes.
And same with Mr. Terrific. You can go watch. You can go watch the Arrowverse stuff and get some more Mr. Terrific, but it's like, come over. I love that the Supergirl trailer ended with, go read the book, Woman of Tomorrow. It's like, that's what I want more of. So if the trailer for Lanterns ends with like, go read Hard Traveling Heroes, great.
Yes.
Great.
Why Marvel doesn't do that, I don't know. That doesn't make sense to me, but we need as much, promote the source material. This is what we love. Let's do it.
If I know the origin story of every character, I don't need to read the book. Why read the book? I already know how. Yeah. So I think James Gunn's got it right. And if you just fill the Hall of Justice just with like Make it the cantina scene where there's like a bar. Have Guy
I'm
Gardner
in.
running the bar.
Yes.
And just have a couple people walk up to the bar. Like, as Superman is walking in with Lex Luthor, can you imagine the looks on every, like, record scratch? Everybody's attention is on that. You have all the cutaways to anybody. Like
Yes. I mean,
Wildcat. Put
that
Static
was
in there.
oh
Like,
yes.
just like fill it with people. And then what happens is the internet goes ape shit over a specific character, like if it's Static, and that tells Warner Brothers and James Gunn and DC, people like the appearance of that guy. Let's go do a movie on that guy. And with Clayface being the type of movie it is, which is a low budget horror movie, if they're doing low budget superhero movies that don't cost a lot but can make a pretty decent profit, like, do some smaller character stuff. Let's get a Kyle. Let's get Jessica in there. Let's just get people in there where the audience will go, I want to know more of that guy. It'll sell more books, and it'll be like basically what do they call it? Focus group.
Yes.
Like, who in this room do we all love? And then, because it worked with Mr. Terrific, because everybody wants more Mr. Terrific. I don't know how many people want more Guy, because he's abrasive and a tough pill to swallow, but I think it's the perfect thing. Just James Gunn, just throw in all the characters. You have a hall of justice. Fill that hall with just random people. That's it. Boom, done. See what sticks.
Man, that would be amazing. And I got that feeling when Supergirl showed up in Superman, and I wasn't expecting her to show up, and it was like, this is amazing. The possibilities. Anyone could show up. Like,
but then with Peacemaker, where the Justice Gang shows up with Supergirl and with Superman, it's like, again, we don't have Supergirl's origin story yet.
Yes.
And she's just there.
Yeah. I don't think we're going to get it in her movie either. I think that it's just going to be like, yep, she's here. She's been.
I think we're getting some flashbacks with the destruction of Krypton, but still, like, I'm like ready. I'm like, just start throwing people in that Hall of Justice. You made the dang set. It's gigantic. There's room. And when they were doing the lettering on the outside, they were on the final E. They were just finishing it up. So we know that some time has passed. Get everybody in there. Yes. Get a speedster in there.
Yeah.
Let's just get people in there. Just throw them all in there.
I'm in.
All right, cool. I'm going to see that. I think I'm going to see Man of Tomorrow. Even if that doesn't happen. Even if none of that happens, I'm sure I'll be fine. But I feel like I'm ready for just start throwing people in.
Yes.
Yeah. Don't need origin stories. We learned that already. It's not necessary. All right. Vactor, where can everybody find you?
Yes. On TikTok and YouTube, I am at This Comic Cooks, and I'm talking to some great guests. I just interviewed Ben Morrow, who is he is like, I don't know how to put it, but he's the visual genius behind so many movies and video games. He's worked on Halo and all of these different things, and he has his own creator project called Huxley, which is almost like Dune meets Halo and throw in AI, like all of these elements. So I had a great conversation with him talking all about Huxley, and I also am doing shorts. I'm trying to do as many Green Lantern shorts as I can. So for the Green Lantern fans, come on over to This Comic Cooks, because every now and then you'll see a short from me pop up, and it'll be about Green Lantern.
Yeah. And for everybody, go to lanternslive.com, which is just going to take you to the YouTube channel, and it's going to ask you to subscribe. Consider subscribing. Consider joining. If you want to join, it's 99 cents a month. You get all the cool emojis that you've seen showing up in here. They don't display on my streamer, but you can see them over there. There's things like, there's like power batteries, Kyle Chandler ring logo, some emojis, including the Guy Gardner Tank Buster, and we also have monthly live streams that are exclusive only to members. And if you join today, you'll be able to go back and watch previous live streams. So thank you for joining me, Vactor. Thanks to everybody in the chat for joining me. I did have one comment from Anthony Chihuahua that said he was the first person to like the video that you're watching now. So everybody, while you're still here, head down below on YouTube and click the thumbs up button. That'll help me out greatly. If you're on your phone and you click like and there's some hypes that you have to give for the week, consider sending me some hypes. That helps spread the word of Lanterns Live. And we definitely want to get our numbers up here as much as I can so that by the time they start doing Lanterns press events, I'm invited. Yes. And I could bring you guys along with me to check those out.
Yes. Get this man an invite.
Please. Thank you everybody for joining me. Vactor, thank you. Looking forward to see what happens next month in Green Lantern Corps 13. Could be unlucky. Ooh. Could be unlucky. Ooh. And until then, beware my podcast. It's Lanterns Live. Bye.